my family is kind of curious. You know, I had a great-grandfather who came here to build a railroad. He brought 4 sons. You know, all his sons came over as well. And so if you were to ask me, hey, how many generations Canadian are you? I'd say 4 generations. And yet my parents also arrived in 1964 as immigrants from China. And so I'm also 2nd generation. It kind of doesn't make sense, but in fact it makes sense because that's the way that the history of the west coast of Canada has developed. That when my great-grandfather came, you know, he was looking to make, you know, a fortune. He came to Gold Mountain to make money and, you know, raise wives and kids in South China. And he was doing so well that he decided to bring those sons that had grown up over here. And those sons all got married. Some of them were able to do what, you know, my great-grandfather did, which is to set up families at home. And some of them were able to bring those families over. But because of anti-Chinese discrimination, because you had to pay this inordinate amount of money to bring anybody over, well, it was just a better idea to leave your wives and kids, who generally aren't very productive, so you can't, you know, it's nice to have them close by, but they're not going to, you know, make the money back on the investment of the head tax to get them over here. So people had to make these difficult choices to reunite families or to leave the kids and wives in China. My grandfather eventually was able to reunite with his daughter, my mother, when she was 27 years old. So the first time that my mother met her father was as a 27-year-old, graduated from university, getting off a plane in Vancouver Airport and seeing her father for the first time. That's the kind of split family that was common, I think, partly because of anti-Chinese discrimination, partly because World War II and the Cold War basically split relations between Canada and the United States and China. But I think it explains why I'm both a 4th generation and a 2nd generation Canadian.